On today's episode, the invisible soda.
Welcome to the Calorie Conundrum podcast with Coach Strick. Join us as we expand the weight loss conversation to beyond just calories and dare to ask the question, why does eating less and exercising more sometimes not produce the desired results? Here's Coach Strick to discuss this Calorie Conundrum.
Welcome to the Calorie Conundrum podcast. This is Coach Strick, and on today's episode, I will be talking about a blog post I wrote 10 years ago titled, The Invisible Soda. On podcast episode number 28, The Pizza Diet with Chef Pasquale, he brings up the idea of studying what is in our food and choosing to eliminate things from our diet that we know are not good for our health. This was the first time this idea had been presented on the podcast, and I was so excited because this is exactly the philosophy I've used for the past decade to guide my nutrition decisions. And I got on my soapbox for a while discussing my idea of having core values around food. Go back to episode 28 to hear that rant. But today's blog post is a real-life example of what I mean by having core values around food. In this blog post, I talk about an important topic, so don't get distracted by the conversation about soda. Try to grasp the 3,000-foot view. You could insert anything not health-affirming in for soda. Think about what you are doing or not doing that is adding or subtracting from your health. Here is a modified version of the blog post. There is a fat lost secret sweeping the land that involves invisible soda. That's right, soda you cannot see. What do you mean invisible soda? How is this possible? Well, it is possible. Let me explain. Back when I was in high school, I played football like many kids my age, and I specifically remember a practice, my freshman year, in which I was dragging butt. My feet felt like they had bricks tied to them, and I felt dead. I started to think about why I was so tired when we were doing the exact same thing we did the day before when I wasn't tired. The only thing I could think of was, that day, I had had soda. That was all it took, and I decided soda, or anything with caffeine, was not for me. So I switched to lemonade and things without caffeine for 3 to 4 years, and then progressed to mostly just water. Today, soda is invisible to me. When I go to the store, I don't even see it. They could be selling 12 bottles for a penny, and I wouldn't buy it. When I have a meal, everyone I eat with knows I don't drink anything but water, so they don't even offer anything else. Oh, well, you must not like the taste of soda. That's quite a ridiculous statement, seeing how most of us were raised drinking soda, and they have a flavor for just about everyone. I like the taste of soda, but I choose not to drink it because I know it's not good for me. The details we can discuss on another podcast, but the moral of the story is this. Soda is invisible to me. Just because it is in every single store you go into, and it is good once it hits your lips, does not mean you have to drink it. The same goes for every other thing that you know is bad for you, but you continue to consume just because it is there, or someone offers it, or it's a holiday, or whatever. Make the choice to make just one thing you know is bad for you invisible. For me, I had to step down from soda to lemonade and then water. You may choose to step down from cigarettes to toothpicks, or from Wonder Bread to whole wheat bread, or from commercial meats and eggs to free range and then organic. Just because something is mainstream does not mean you have to participate. Remember, 70% of people are considered overweight. I like being a minority. Join me. In this old blog post, I demonstrate my philosophy of having core values around food by determining something that is not good for me and then setting limitations around that item. You can still set core values around food and not make the food invisible, but when you do, it becomes so much easier to avoid that item if you can't see it. What item do you wish were invisible for you? When you can set rules for what you will and will not consume, even though you are technically limiting your choices, you create a sense of freedom and confidence around food. And with that said, this is Coach Strick saying thanks for listening, and remember, when calories in, calories out doesn't work, that, my friend, is a calorie conundrum.
This podcast, including Coach Strick and guests, disclaim responsibility for any possible adverse effects for the use of any information contained herein. Coach Strick and/or guests may recommend products or services in which they have a direct or indirect financial interest. To find out more, please visit www.calorieconundrum.com.